It is day 23 and video 3 of the Universal Laws video series. And today I've looked it over and it's only going to be one law today, and that is the law of sufficiency and abundance. So just an introduction, just in case you haven't seen these before. My name is Victoria. I am from creativehealingandwellness.com and also Become Your Best Self and Transform Your Life. I am a transformational and spirituality coach, and I'm an energy practitioner. Work with both humans and animals, and a certified law of attraction coach. So this is why we're doing the series. So we've already gone through the law of attraction, the law of deliberate creation, and the law of allowing. And today is the fourth one. And as I said, it's the law of sufficiency and abundance. So what now I've gone through these notes, and this is a pretty big law. So I'm going to try to kind of skim over stuff because I don't want this video to be super long. So what this is basically it says that you have everything within you right now to make your life a living dream. If you choose to accept that which is your divine birthright. So again, as I always say, it's all about choice. Okay, you have to choose to be who you are. Be your design creator self. So we live in a universe of abundance. You can see it if you look in nature. There's so much lush abundance in nature and in the world. I mean, you go and you look at these beautiful places, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It is full of abundance. So we live in this, and although, this is where the problem comes in, because we have learned, most of us have learned in our lives through, no fault of anybody else, just people know what they know, but we have learned to view it as a universe of scarcity. So we always end up fighting and trying to climb that ladder to get to what we need, because we got to get there before somebody else does. Not exactly a good way to go through life. Yeah, you can accomplish a lot, but most of us don't get to where we want to be. So there is actually, I talked about how these laws are actually in a lot of spiritual scriptures. And there is a very specific scripture in the Bible in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 5. And it says, our sufficiency is from God. And, God, it doesn't have to be whatever your perception of God is, that is where your sufficiency is. That is where your power is. Okay? It could be your divine self. It could be your higher self. It could be, just any version of what you believe is your higher power. And that's where your sufficiency lies. So there is enough of us for all. Every single person, what are we up to, like nearly 5 billion people on this planet? Maybe even more than that. Maybe it's like 8. My gosh, I'm showing my age. I think it's like 8 billion people now. There is enough for every single one of us. And with plenty to spare. Which is kind of a cool feeling. But somehow we were always stuck in this, like, there's never enough kind of mode. This mentality and mindset that there's never enough. So there is an unlimited supply of goods. You have the power in order to create your life in any way you choose. Any way you choose. I talked about this before. It is all about you and your power. We are powerful, powerful creatures and powerful beings. We just have to peel the layers back. And you know, the great thing is we're never cheated. We are never cheated because somebody else got success. You know, that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So, I mean, as I said, we are eternal beings in a spiritual body. And we have this power. And abundance is the basis of the universe. It is the basis of everything. So that is kind of what this law starts. Now, just as I've mentioned in the other videos, beliefs based in lack affect our ability to manifest our desires and to bring things in. So lack mentality controls us. It keeps us in that prison, and it also keeps us in that fight mode and this longing mode, like nothing's ever enough. I'm gonna read a paragraph here that I thought was pretty poignant. So let me see. Okay, most of us feel that who we are, what we have, and what we are doing is not enough. That is a big lie. I've talked about law of attraction. If you feel that nothing is ever enough, that is what you will be attracting in your life. Like attracts like. If you feel you are not enough, you are right. If you feel that what you have is not enough, you will continue to receive not enough. But on the opposite side of that coin, if you believe you are abundant, then you're right. Pretty cool, huh? Pretty cool. So we need to tap into the truth of who we really are. And we need to understand that we are enough. We are perfect, whole, and complete right now in this moment. This is not something we learn. We just are this whole, perfect, complete being. We just have so many things on top of it that hide it. So letting go of the limiting beliefs, this onion that we put ourselves on, we got to peel back those layers. I think I've mentioned that before. When we let go of that limiting belief and that sense of lack, your heart and your eyes open up to your own truth. And that's such an amazing thing. We are always growing and expanding. And yes, we'll always have desires. If you have a goal and you put that out there and you achieve that goal, yeah, you're going to have another goal down the line, because that's just the nature of life. We are constantly growing and expanding, because so is our universe, constantly growing and expanding. But if you're always coming from that not enough mentality, no matter what you achieve, nothing will ever feel like enough. And that doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel good. That just doesn't feel good. So that poses a question. How do you know when it will all be enough? Sounds like an easy question. But if we're constantly in this longing for more and this space of dissatisfaction and fighting and lack mentality, when will things ever be enough? We think like, oh well, I have enough. If I win the lottery, I'll be fine. No, because guess what? You're out of alignment with that. You can't go from being a place of scarcity to a place of abundance and expect to thrive. It's just not. It's not going to happen, because you still have all these limiting beliefs over on this side, and you're not going to be able to hold on to that. So again, you will be back in that, it's not enough. Oh, I won a lottery of $1 million. Well, now I need $10 million. You win 10 million. Oh, I need 20 million. It's never going to be enough. So you need to peel that away. The more, if you're always, I've mentioned this, if you're always looking outside of yourself for validation, for satisfaction, you are not present. You are not living in the now. I mentioned that before. Being present is really important in all aspects of our lives, no matter what's going on in our lives. And when you're not in the now, you're not appreciating what you have. And that flips back to the gratitude thing. So the more you chase things outside of yourself, the more you're never going to be satisfied. There will always be more to achieve, acquire, or do. You know, and you're going to be on the hamster wheel. Be on the hamster wheel. So when you come from a place on the opposite side, you come from a place of sufficiency. When what you have is sufficient, that's where the peace is. That's where you're going to find that calm and that peaceful feeling that you search for. You know, we all search for that peace, you know, and that comes from living in the mentality of sufficiency. When you feel gratitude for what you currently have, while at the same time getting excited for the next thing you want to manifest, that's where the joy is. So the peace is in the gratitude and the acceptance of the sufficient, that your life is sufficient. And then you add in the excitement of the desires that you're trying to manifest. There's where your joy is. It's very cool. It's very cool. So there is, I don't know if you've seen this. I love this video. It's so cute. It's a little video. It's making its rounds on Facebook. And it's a video of a little girl. And she gets a present. Nicely wrapped present. From, I think it's her father. And I hope I get the details right of this. But, you know, the details really don't matter. It's the concept. She opens up this present. And she's excited to get the present. And when she opens it up, it's just a paperclip. It's just a paperclip. I think it's a colored paperclip, like pink or green or something like that. And she is so grateful for this paperclip. She's like, oh, Daddy, this is amazing. This is just what I wanted. She gushed about this paperclip. And, you know, watching that video, it just puts you in that understanding that this is what true gratitude and appreciation is. It doesn't matter what's in the gift. It doesn't matter what's in the gift. Because we are happy with what we have. She was happy and joyful because she had a paperclip that she didn't have before. It's an amazing video. So I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I would recommend it. I would definitely recommend it. So I'm going to read and ask you a couple questions. See what happens. Okay? Get those wheels moving. So think about this. What if you aligned your thoughts and emotions right now with abundance? What if you felt that you were enough? You are worthy. You have everything that you need inside of you right now to build a fortune and to reach your goals. You have all you need inside of you to create your ideal job. You have everything inside of you to attract your ideal mate. You always have enough. You always have enough. So, how do we start applying this law of sufficiency and abundance? Well, the biggest thing is you be satisfied now. Just be satisfied for what you have. If you have a shack with a dirt floor, but you have a blanket to keep you warm at night, be satisfied with that. And just, you can look towards the future. You don't have to settle. This world is not about settling. That's where we get stuck. When we start to settle in our surroundings, that's when we get stuck. That's when the hamster wheel comes into play. But you still need to be satisfied with the abundance that you have in your life. If you're going paycheck to paycheck, but you can still pay your bills every month. Be happy with that. Even if you're having a hard time paying your bills every month, but yet one of your bills gets paid off. There's where gratitude comes in. That is abundance. That is abundance because somebody else may not even have that much. You know, a lot of people, especially people like in third world countries that only know poverty, they have so much joy with the little things. If they have a can to kick down the street, they're happy because that is abundant to them. And it just helps you put things into perspective. I mean, we're lucky. We're in a developed country. We live in a world of instant gratification. We can get anything at our fingertips if we want it. And I think that causes some of the problems because we have all these shiny objects in front of us. We're never satisfied with the shiny object that just needs to be brushed off in front of us. So be satisfied now. I'm going to read an affirmation, and I think this is a really good affirmation to say. And write this down. If you have to pause this video or replay it again, write this down because it's really important. I am satisfied with what I have. My love, happiness, and security is coming from within, from the Creator as my source and supply. Take 5 minutes a day and repeat that over to yourself like 3 times. I'm going to read it again. I am satisfied with what I have. My love, happiness, and security is coming from within, from the Creator as my source and my supply. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So be satisfied now. Don't wait to be satisfied. And, start from where you are and what you have right now. Set your goals, but see yourself already achieving those goals. And be resolved to succeed in attaining those goals, no matter what it takes. There will be a law coming up, and I'm just going to touch on it. And who knows? I may touch on it again that I may not have to do a full video on it. But this is the law of gestation. This is the bonus law, the 9th law that I was going to talk about, or 8th law I was going to talk about. It doesn't matter how long something takes because everything has its own divine time. We live in an impatient world. That's what we see around us. But that puts us back in that prison the more impatient we are. I've had to deal with this a lot because patience was never really my strong point. But I've learned, the last couple years, I've mentioned it's been my lesson in patience because everything is in its divine time. We are where we are for a reason. We are perfectly in our position for a reason, whether it's a lesson we need to learn, whether there's more growth that we need to do before we hit that next level. So, just no matter what it takes, just, it's okay. It's okay. So, manifestation happens when we can be in a place of feeling at peace with where we are while being excited about the possibilities ahead. Now, and having that's the reason why I have been drawn to these laws, because these laws, they all work together. They all work together. And it's why I didn't want to focus on just the law of attraction, because they all work together. All of these. And there's even more than this 8 that I'm going to teach you in this series. There's more universal laws out there. These are just the ones that I think, in my opinion, tend to be the most poignant. So, just to recap, if you are not experiencing abundance, there's a reason. There's a reason for that. And if you remember what I was talking about before, what is the reason why we don't live in abundance? Because those limiting beliefs, those things that put us on that hamster wheel and kind of put that stop in our flow. So, we want to stay out of the mentality of lack. Lack does not serve us in any way. And as the law of attraction states, the more you are in a lack mentality, the more you receive lack mentality. The more you believe that there's never enough, the more there will never be enough. So you got to kind of take the responsibility for your thoughts. And yeah, there's abundance everywhere. It's unlimited. It's unlimited. So, I'm going to go through some steps. Okay? And remember, abundance is our birthright. It is who we are. We are abundance. And, that's something that we need to really ingrain in ourselves. So there are 8 steps, and I will just quickly go over this because I don't want this video to be too long, of having an abundant life. The first one, be grateful for what you already have in your life right now. Focus on the good. Okay? Focus on the good. And feel abundant. Feel abundant. Don't sit in your lap. 2, now this is the thing, and churches really talk about this, and it's in a lot of scriptures, in many different faiths. Tithing. Now, tithing is 10%. That is pretty much the blanket of 10%. And it can be 10% of your money. It could be 10% of your time. It can be 10% of your talents. Whatever it is, doing that 10% tithing, and again, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be money. But giving that 10% of yourself in however you do that is going to open up the door to more abundance. Because as I was saying yesterday, energy needs this ebb and flow. And you need to be able to receive as well as to give. So, we live in a world where we receive a lot. And some of us get stuck in the giving a lot. But they go together. They have to go together. And the more you put into the world, if you have abundance and you give 10% of that, you're going to receive more abundance. That is the way the law works. Okay, that is one of the main things. So that's number 2. Number 3 is create a vacuum so that more good things can flow into your life. So this goes to like getting rid of energy leaks, as my teacher calls it. Let's say you have a pile of papers on your desk that you haven't touched in a year. Well, that's an energy leak, because guaranteed every time you go over to that pile and you're sitting at your desk and you look at that pile, you're expending energy like, oh, I got to get that done. Oh, I got to get that done. So, and I really try, but I live in a small house and I have a really hard time finding homes for things. So clutter is something I fight with all the time. But decluttering your life in many ways, whether it's decluttering your items, whether it's decluttering your closet, whether it's decluttering your the time you procrastinate or the time that you're wasting on silly little things, then you create a vacuum. Once you remove those, you create a vacuum for more abundance to come into your life. So number 4, release resistance that interferes with the free flow of abundance. And those, another list. So you release resentment, jealousy, envy, self-pity, complaining, criticizing, cruelty, anger, hatred, greed, gluttony, laziness, arrogance, self-centeredness, lamentation, worry, weakness, fear, and doubt. You need to release those. You need to release. I know that's harder to do than say, but you need to release them. You need to release them, and because those are putting blocks. Those, blocks are kind of, that's a weird word, but they are limiting you. They are limiting you. They're keeping you on the hamster wheel. They're keeping you in that stuck space. Okay, so release them. 5, forgive those who have wronged you. So if you haven't watched my video on forgiveness, I recommend it. I think it's around video 13 or 14. It's really important to forgive those who have wronged you. And as I said then, forgiveness is not about them. It is about you. It is about you releasing yourself from your prison of anger. So I recommend that video, so go back and watch it. It'll be a good thing. And one little practice that you can do is you can spend 10 minutes a day forgiving. And you can say things like, and here's a little phrase, you can take little notes again. I forgive and release so-and-so, and wish them well, and wish them away. Okay, so you release them. You release them. That's an energy leak. Not forgiving is an energy leak. You need to forgive. So I forgive and release whoever it is, and wish them well and wish them away. It's a perfect little forgiveness practice for you. Number 6, allow yourself to be open to receive. This goes back into what I was talking yesterday about the second part of the law of allowing. You have to allow yourself to receive. You have to feel that you have enough value to receive. You have to feel that you are worthy to receive. If you don't feel like you're worthy, then there's a resistance there. And you need to release that. You need to know that you are perfect just the way you are. You are worth it. Remember that. Remember that. So number 7 is take personal responsibility for your life. How many times have I said this? Take personal responsibility for your life. We need to realize that as we move through this life, we affect things around us. So being aware and taking responsibility for our actions only creates that space that we need to grow and expand. Okay? And the 8th and final is we need to master our inner dialogue. And that is because just as the law of attraction and the law of deliberate creation state, we design the world around us. So keep a check on your thoughts. Keep a check on that inner dialogue and master it. Master it. Don't let it go off. Don't let the ego and doubt and fear go off on their own and take your power with them. You have the power. You have the power. Okay? So, yeah, master your inner dialogue. And that's going to be great. So, that's the principles. And I know this is really long, and I'm glad I only did this one. I apologize. We're like 30 minutes here. So I'm so sorry. So it's okay if you want to do it in chunks. It's okay. It's a really important law. And it's good to know this law of sufficiency and abundance. Remember, you are worthy. You have value. You are abundant. You are perfect. Just the way you are. Okay? Set your goals. Still go forward and achieve, because we're always expanding and we're always growing. But be grateful with what you have. understand that what you have in this moment is sufficient. Because the more you do that, the more sufficiency and abundance will flow to you. I promise that. I promise that. It can't not happen. It is law. It is law. So remove those blocks, remove those resistance, and enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. So, that's it. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Walk in love and light. And I will see you tomorrow for day 24. Hopefully, I will be able to do this much shorter. I keep going longer. It's like these mini TED Talks. So I apologize. I just love to teach. So have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.